What's good, YouTube? Freedom of Productions here. Hey, man, I'm going to talk about IShowSpeed real quick. Now, if you don't know who IShowSpeed is, he's one of the biggest streamers in the world, if not the biggest in the world, right? You have people like Kai Cenat, IShowSpeed, people like that. They're up there in the echelons of streaming and popularity also. And IShowSpeed, he does his thing to where he goes to different continents and he does a little tour, right? I think the tour first started, it started in Asia, and then he kind of worked his way to Europe, and then I think he was at Australia at one point, and now he's in Africa. He's been promising to go to Africa for a long time. A lot of fans wanted him to go there, so he finally went, and Africa's going beautifully. It's going beautiful, right? Having the time of his life, and that's great. But something has been coming up. A conversation has been coming up ever since IShowSpeed went to Africa. And it is so weird to me is that the conversation is about Black Americans. That's all I see is everybody talking about Black Americans. For some reason, Speed now, who is a Black American? I think his family's from Ohio or whatever. But the conversation about Speed going to Africa and just showing love to Africa and celebrating going to Africa like he did Europe and Asia, the conversation now is being about Black Americans. How like, oh, Black Americans are so ignorant. Black Americans didn't know Africa had cities. Black Americans didn't know Africans didn't live in mud huts. Black Americans didn't know that Africa had streets. What's all this? What is all this coming from? And I see more and more people talking about, oh, it's just the education system in America. The education system in America. Wait a minute. As a Black American, right, I find that offensive. And I think every Black American should find that offensive with these talking points. Because for one, Black America is the only one who's ever really looked after Africa. We looked after Africa when everyone else was putting it down. It was Black Americans back in the 50s making Africa cool. When back then on television, all you seen was they were promoting Africans in mud huts and walking around barefoot and with bones in their noses and cartoons and stuff like that. That's what the media was showing. We didn't believe that. We didn't go around saying like, oh man, all them Africans, they're living in mud huts and they're cannibals, they're ready to eat you. But that's what the media was showing us. But what did we do? Go back to the 50s and 60s. What did you see? You seen us, we celebrated Africa. And even farther back, we celebrated Africa, right? We was the ones trying to make Africa cool. We had the medallions on. We had the African medallions. We had the big afros. We was pushing Pan-Africanism, right? The big fist with the RBG colors. We got the African clothing on, Dudes had the kufis and stuff walking around back in the day. We was really supporting Africa. Really putting it out there more than anybody. Pushing the Pan-Africanism harder than anyone. So why would it today be that the conversation is Black Americans were somehow looking down on Africa, not thinking they had anything? Which was so weird. But we've been the main components, the main people lifting Africa up. We can go back to when we was lining up to go to Ethiopia, to help Ethiopia stay free. When Ethiopians finna go to war, we was lining up for that. Black America was lining up by the thousands up there in New York and other places, ready to go to war for Ethiopia. Right? We was the ones who was out here, had the steady drum beat going out for South Africa when they was going through the apartheid. We was out here kicking up dust and making noise for that. You had musicians like Stevie Wonder and all type of people out here making songs about South Africa. We was out here showing support more than anybody. Even in the 80s, like when Michael Jackson We Are the World. That was out to save Africa. That was like what Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, and Quincy Jones was behind that. We got the top artists around the world to sing a song to save money up to send to Africa. The prime parts of Africa. Black Americans was doing that. But now, we're so ignorant, we don't know nothing about Africa. But we the only ones been pushing Pan-Africanism, really? And it's funny that it takes a Black American to go to Africa for everyone to love it, for the same people to turn around and say that Black Americans don't know nothing about Africa. And that somehow we be looking down on Africa. But every time we do, we go to Africa, we show love. So where all the hate come from? That's what I want to know. Where's this hate coming from? I don't know. And why nobody talking about anybody else? They're not calling out Jamaicans. They're not calling out Haitians. They're not calling out Brazilians. They're not calling out Cubans. Dominicans. No one from South America. Nothing. All these other groups. No, it's just Black Americans who's looking down on Africa. What? Who don't know nothing about Africa. And I seen little clips floating around where people are crying. They got clips of certain people crying, talking about how beautiful Africa is. It's like, oh my God, I never knew this. I never knew Africa had beaches and cities. And it's performative, man. Stop it. This is so performative. It's weird, man. It's weird. And a thing they're not going to talk about is that usually it's the opposite. Usually it's the opposite that's true. And it's funny they trying to reverse it and try to make it seem like Black Americans are the ones who are so ignorant to Africa, or Black Americans are the ones who somehow have a disdain for Africa when we don't the ones who've been bigging it up. But the opposite is true.
I do have this conversation a lot with Africans or even just Caribbean people who will often look down on Black Americans. Number one, they will say they lazy, they ghetto. I've heard African parents tell their kids not to date African American men, not to marry them, things of that nature. What are some negative stereotypes y'all heard about Black Americans from your parents, from your friends?
You literally said it all.
Yeah. That's it?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Like my mom would tell me not to marry that.
Yeah.
Right.
She says it all the time.
Even when I hear like African parents say that, it very much sounds like the same rhetoric that a white person would tell their kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't marry that Black guy, like he's ratchet, they ghetto. It's crazy to hear other Black people have that type of rhetoric towards each other.
But yeah, to get to the topic of the story here, why Africans don't really see Black people as an equal or as, I guess, something relevant. I would say it more so it derives from how Black people act. And this is not coming from a racist view, guys. This is just pointing something out there and bringing light to a topic that has been discussed amongst Africans. So the reason that, I guess Africans can just never see Black people as an equal or good people, I would say it's more so because of the way Black people act.
And they always say that we're portrayed over there in Africa in a negative light. It's funny how they're portrayed negative to us, but we still uplift them. We don't believe none of the negativity because we know how it works. We know how racism works. They don't know about slavery here in America. They think Black Americans got it good and everything that we got was just given to us. Like they don't know about like 400 years of slavery, another 100 years of Jim Crow, black codes, redlining, stuff like that. They don't know about none of that. Another narrative I keep hearing is that Oh, IShowSpeed is showing Black Americans that African people love you. Look how they treat Speed. Look how they treat Speed. Look how they treat Speed. Are we acting like Speed is not a celebrity? Are we acting like he's not like one of the most famous people in the world? Speed is international. Speed can go places where they barely have TV, and the people are like, Speed? Speak no lick of English. They'll know Speed. They'll celebrate Speed. They shut down cities wherever he goes. No matter where he went in Asia, Southeast Asia, no matter he went into Europe, in the hoods and the slums of Europe, playing soccer, they'll still come out, or playing football, or they'll still come out and show love to Speed. He could be in favelas in Brazil. They will come out in by the thousands to watch Speed. Why would Africa be any different? Especially if you've been following Speed, like a lot of people have. They've been asking him to come to Africa for like the last year or something. It's been over a year now. They've been begging Speed to come to Africa ever since he started his little tours around the world. And a lot of people been wanting him to come to Africa. He just didn't show up to Africa and they don't know who he is. They start showing him love. No, they know this is a big time opportunity for them to get on camera, to show off their city, to show off their culture, to get a lot of tourist attractions over there. This is to build Africa up. So instead of them, like instead a lot of people got a lot of negative stuff to say about Black Americans, just show love. Like Speed showing love because he knows wherever he go, he's going to bring tourism, he's going to bring money.
This has caused some criticism from certain Black Americans, right? Now, IShowSpeed coming to the continent has also caused some criticism towards Black Americans.
I got a problem with African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about this whole IShowSpeed situation.
And he's African American. He's a Black
I got
American.
a real big problem with every one of you African Americans who are so excited and happy and are now discovering the beauty of Africa and the fact that African people love you.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Speed ain't the only big streamer that came to Africa recently. Yeah, there was another streamer who came to Africa recently, just last year, and that was Cassinet. Cassinet, probably one of the other biggest streamers in the world, just as big as Speed, if not bigger. He was in Africa. The people showed him love. He showed love to Africa. But why they not supporting Cassinet's trip to Africa and to these countries in Africa like they supporting Speed? Maybe because they trying to sell this narrative that, all of Africa is great. When in reality, there's a lot of countries in Africa that do need help. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showing people that need help. A closed mouth don't get fed, man. Pride comes before the fall. When you sit here trying to convince the world that you have cities, and no one's doubting that you don't have cities, but let's be honest, there's a lot of countries in Africa that need help. But see, this is a reality that they're trying to hide, which they acting like Black Americans don't know about. So they keep saying, oh, Black Americans think we all live in mud huts. No, we're not saying that. We know there's cities, we know there's resorts, and all type of nice places in different countries in Africa. We know this. But let's be honest too. There's a lot of countries in Africa who really need help and support. And see, they're not going to show Cassinet's trip to Africa because he was actually down there giving back to the people. He went down there and said he was going to build a school. These people are literally living on floating slums with one school that's sinking. And Kai went down there, checked the school out, talked to the people, showed love, and the people showed love to him. And guess what? He's giving back to the people. He's building the school down there as we speak. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong to have pride for your country, have pride for your place of origin, but also, like I said before, keep it real. Instead of attacking Black Americans, saying that we're ignorant, just show it all. Show all of it. Let's not just show the resorts that you only show tourists. Let's see all of Africa. And this is the stuff that you should be promoting because you do need help. And there's nothing wrong with that. You do need help. These people, closed mouths don't get fed, man. You need to show how these places need help, and then you can get support. Not only from America, but from around the world. These people get attention from people from around the world. And if you show that you need help, people will help. There's nothing wrong, man, with asking for help, man, if you need it. But I'm sorry, that's not pushing the narrative that y'all want. It's better to just say that Black Americans are ignorant and that Africa's doing so much great. And I hear people online talking about they living better than we are. They living better than Americans. We all need to move to Africa. Okay.
What's wrong here?
Let's listen to this.
The African people never forgot that you were snatched away from them.
Correction, it was sold. You were sold. But okay.
The African people see you as their brothers and sisters and nothing other than that.
Let me get to some of the criticisms here, okay?
So, Speed is in Africa, and now I done seen people talking about, oh, the CIA and what the CIA was trying to do ain't working because he in Africa, and y'all see how the Africans is treating him. First of all, Speed is in Africa. Everywhere Speed goes, y'all acting like he's not an international stream star. He is. No matter which way you want to turn the key, y'all want to act like he not a real celebrity. These young people know exactly who Speed is. Older people, I've seen older Scottish women saying, oh my God, Speed, hugging him down, trying to get his attention, asking for an autograph. He is world renowned, okay? So just because he's in Africa, he's in Angola, to be specific, because y'all love the child only when it's convenient. Y'all want it to be this specific country, okay? He's in Angola, and everybody's showing him so much love. They're falling all over him, running up to him. Oh my God, Speed. But they not talking about how they begging him down for money, though. Ain't nobody bringing that up. They out there begging him down for money.
Okay, so let me kind of talk about this.
All right. I ain't finna watch this whole thing. It's like over 14 minutes, man. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. O'Shea, where the hell? Hold up. O'Shea, where the hell are your eyebrows, bro? O'Shea has no eyebrows. Am I tripping? You look like a big black baby right here, bro. It's like a... I'm sorry, man. I had to do it, man. O'Shea, shout out to you, man. Yeah, man, that's it, man. Shout out to Speed, man. Shout out to Africa, man. Shout out to all our brothers and sisters around the diaspora. Subscribe to the channel, Freedom by Productions, man. Thumbs up and sub up the videos, man. On the road to 1K. Can't do it without you, man. And like always, man, thank you guys for watching. Until next time. Peace.